Welcome back to the Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
Moving your family across the country to attend seminary could be a daunting experience, especially if you have school-age children. The Lutheran Elementary School Association here in St. Louis offers support for families of students attending Concordia Seminary in St. Louis. And here to share the details on the scholarship program is Libby Gutberlet. She's a Chief Executive Officer for Lutheran Elementary School Association here in St. Louis, Missouri. Libby, welcome back to the Coffee Hour.
Good morning. Thank you.
So let's talk about the Concordia Seminary Family Student Scholarship Fund. While enrolling in seminary for pastoral formation at Concordia Seminary in St. Louis, that just becoming a student again, maybe even after a little bit of time having a family, that could be daunting. But then moving a whole family to the St. Louis area could also be challenging. What challenges do you see for families when they pick up and move from maybe across the country to come to St. Louis and they have school-age children? What are some of the challenges they might face?
Right. So, more and more seminarians are coming from second careers or making this a second or third career. And so what they're doing when they make this commitment to go into ministry and serve the Lord, they are quitting their jobs. Their wives are quitting their jobs if they have one. They're moving their kids out of school and moving to St. Louis, Missouri. And in doing so, they're for a couple of years anyway, they're kind of upheaval. They're living in an apartment. They're trying to figure out where they're going to get their groceries next and things like that. But they're also trying to have to place their kids in school. And what we, as an organization here in the area and our local schools, Lutheran schools, wanted to open our schools to those families so that those kids didn't have to go to a public school because it was free, because the parents are all of a sudden not making any income. We wanted them to have access to tuition-based Lutheran schools, but to have the freedom to do that fee-free, tuition-free. And so we've created a collaboration with 5 or 6 of our local Lutheran schools and some donors, and we're raising money so that we can provide a couple $1,000s a year per student. And our schools whose tuitions are around $6,000-7,000 a year are waiving the remainder. And so we believe that pastoral formation in seminary is important, but we also believe that being a pastor of a Lutheran school is something that should be part of their pastoral formation. And we also believe that those children need to land in a family. And we believe that family is Lutheran schools. And we want to provide that for those children and provide that for those families.
How do these scholarships make a difference for those families who are moving to St. Louis and have school-aged kids? How have you seen this make a difference for the families who are able to take advantage of it?
Well, I know that when we started offering this just 2 years ago, we had about 14 children apply for the scholarship. And they were divided amongst 3 or 4 of our Lutheran schools. 2 years later, we're up to 35. And so that just shows that when this was made an opportunity for them, the families jumped at it. Even though they have to hop their families in a car and drive a little bit of a ways, they wanted to take advantage of the opportunity to be part of a church. And that's what those schools wanted as well. Those congregations wanted. They wanted the seminarians to become part of their family while they're here for the couple of years they're here. I've had letters from families telling me how much it has helped with their children's transition from a school and a school in an area that they loved into a family of Christian teachers and Lutheran children who became their new brothers and sisters and best friends. And it's really helped with their transitions as they've moved to St. Louis. And sometimes it's bittersweet when they have to leave again and go do their vicarage. But we believe that it makes a difference for the children when they're here. But we also believe it makes a difference for those pastors and the pastors' wives when they join a new congregation. And now they have a Lutheran school that they are overseeing. And we think that this makes them more aware of what some of the challenges and some of the blessings are of having a school in your congregation.
You mentioned earlier that this program involves donors and partnerships to make it happen. What does that look like? How do you fund a scholarship? You mentioned that the schools are certainly taking a part of that, but how do you fund a program like this so that seminary families can have great Lutheran schools for their children while they're studying here at the seminary?
Well, it's been a challenge, and fortunately, our schools have stepped up and filled up the blanks or the difference. But it started with a donation from the seminary. Concordia Seminary made a gift, and and we've put that into a fund. The Lutheran Church Extension Fund has stepped up, and they're committed to some giving. We have the Lutheran Legacy Foundation has stepped up, and they've committed to some gifts. And right now, I'm making appeals to the LWML chapters to see if we can get some support there. We're hoping to, raise $100,000. We're not quite there yet, but it's about right now about $50,000 a year to run this program. And because the state of Missouri does not have school choice, there are no federal or, state dollars or federal dollars for that matter supporting any of any of these seminary families when they get here. Unlike our sister seminary over in Indiana, Indiana has school choice. And so those seminary families can go to any school if they're choosing. We here in Missouri are not a school choice state yet. And so financial aid tuition does not follow the student here. And if they want to go to a private school, Christian school, Lutheran school, there is a tuition based. And so that has been our challenge. Until the laws change, right now we are wanting to make Lutheran schools available for all of our seminary families.
Why is this so important? You mentioned this. It's been challenging to fund this, but why is this so important for you as an organization and for you personally to have this opportunity for these seminary families while they're here?
Well, we are already an organization that provides scholarships to families in the St. Louis area that want to go to Lutheran schools but can't afford it. So we are already in the business of providing scholarships. The challenge that we have had as an organization locally with these providing scholarships for seminary families is that they've come from a W-2. And so last year they had a job. And in many cases, they don't qualify for the scholarship level of giving because we look at their W-2s from last year. So these seminary families are falling between the cracks. And these are the very people that should not fall between the cracks. And we don't want to see that happen because we believe that they have made a faith-based decision to go into ministry. It affects the entire family, and the entire family is technically going into ministry with them. And we want to support that.
How do seminary students and their families apply for this scholarship?
When the seminary families arrive, we explain the program to them, provide the churches that are available. They then go out and start finding the church in the school that they want to join. And then they work through the principals. And the principal works very closely with our organization. We do have there's a formal application process. And then hopefully all that paperwork's done. And then they get to start going to school. In many cases, these families aren't coming to St. Louis until later in the spring, early summer. So a lot of times we don't really know what we've got kind of applications we have until June, July sometimes, where many of our other students have applied back in January. Mm-hmm. So some of these families are coming to some of these schools late. And so not only are they late in applying, the schools need to be aware and make opportunities for them. So in spite of what the enrollment might already look like.
How can our listeners support the Concordia Seminary Family Student Scholarship Fund?
Well, we would love for that to happen. We have a website, and we would love for them to go to our website, click the red donate button, and when they put in how much they'd like to give, indicate the Seminary Scholarship Fund in the comment field. Now, our website is LESASTL.org. That's LESASTL.org. Click the red donate button and just indicate the Seminary Scholarship Fund.
That's LESASTL.org. You can find more information there about the Concordia Seminary Family Student Scholarship Fund and how to donate and contribute to that. Libby, thank you so much for your work and making sure that students in the St. Louis area have the opportunity to be a part of these great Lutheran schools here. Anything else you want to share with us this morning as we wrap up our time together?
I'm just so thankful that we can partner with the seminary and the families there. We believe in Lutheran and Christian education. We wish the best for those families and their children.
Libby Gutberlet, Chief Executive Officer, Lutheran Elementary School Association in St. Louis. Libby, thanks for being our guest today.
Thank you.
You've been listening to The Coffee Hour. I'm Andy Bates.
I'm Sarah Golseth.
The Coffee Hour with Andy and Sarah is a production of KFUO. To support The Coffee Hour and KFUO Radio, visit kfuo.org. You can also text KFUO to 41444 or send an email to gifts@kfuo.org. And you can call us at 800-844-0524. KFUO. Christ for you, anytime, anywhere.
The Concordia University System is comprised of 5 universities of the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod. Located across the United States, the universities offer more than 160 undergraduate and 50 graduate programs and approach learning from a Lutheran context with the goal of developing Christian leaders for the church, community, and the world. Learn more about your Concordia University System at cus.edu. The Concordia University System. Education built on God's Word. cus.edu.